I used to think in order to change my life, I needed a massive breakthrough. One moment that would absolutely explode my life into transformation. And although moments like that exist, I realize that the real truth is transformation doesn't happen in that big moment. It happens in the small, little steps along the way. The little habits that you do over and over and over and over again. And so in this video, I want to talk about the 5 habits that changed my life forever. Habits that took me from surviving to actually living for the purpose I want to live for. And honestly, I think it'll do the same thing for you. Ladies and gentlemen, so the first thing is praying and reading my Bible first thing in the morning. Now, I'm that kind of guy, if I tell myself that I'm going to read my Bible during the day, I'm just not going to do it. It's unfortunately a big flaw of mine. It has to be in the morning. I have to force myself to do it in the morning and ground myself. Obviously, I'm still working on that. So if you watch some of my previous videos, especially the morning routine video, I have my Bible and my journal right next to my bed, just so when I wake up, it's the first thing that I do. Force myself to do it. Of course, I still miss it. Every time that I read and pray my Bible in the morning, it just grounds me, you know? It reduces anxiety. It sort of makes me start my day on a good note, to understand who is basically in control of my day. I grew up in a very religious household in Ghana. My mom is who we call Krifi. In Ghana, Krifi is someone who's basically a very deep Christian. And when we were kids, we used to wake up at like 5:30, 5 a.m., sometimes 6:30, 6 a.m. to pray and read a Bible. We used to call it morning devotion. So I really had that foundation. But when I grew up as an adult, you don't really understand the things of God until you learn it for yourself, until you pick up the Bible and actually read it, until you do things because you read it in the Bible and understand it for yourself, and not necessarily because you grew up in a household that worshiped God, so you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Those are two different things. And once I started walking with Christ, again, I'm not the kind of Christian people should look up to. You know what I mean? I honestly don't think perfect Christians are out there, but it's not until you take up the Bible for yourself and read it for yourself, then you understand things for yourself. And so for me, doing that in the morning is the best time, because what better way to start your day than reading the Bible and praying to God? One of the best things you can do for yourself is really just walking. Walking is low commitment, is low impact, but it's one of the best, if not the best exercise out there. And there's so much that can happen on a walk. Like, you can reduce anxiety, you can sightsee, you can think clearly. There's so much that can happen on a walk. I started prioritizing walks about maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to take my fitness and health journey serious. Let's just do walks. And also because I started 75 Hard with a friend of mine, and one of the tasks was a 45-minute outdoor exercise. So I was like, well, walking is low impact, I might as well just do that. And then it became a habit. I started doing it every day. It helps so much, especially with mental clarity. I don't know what it is about walking. There's probably a science to it about endorphins and all that stuff, but it helps you so much with your mind, with your anxiety. So now I try as much as possible to walk every day. Now I don't do it, so I try maybe 4 times a week, about 30 minutes a day. The ideal schedule would be to do it every single day for 30 minutes. But again, you know, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I miss it, sometimes I go. And if you're new to walking, try to have a purpose behind the walk. For instance, I have a grocery store next to me. So if I want to buy milk, I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to walk to Target, which is about 10 minutes. So I walk 10 minutes to Target, I stroll around Target for another extra 10 minutes, and then I come back 10 minutes. That's about a 30-minute walk. But I wasn't just walking for the sake of walking. I had a purpose behind the walk. And you can start doing that. If you have a purpose behind your walk, it makes it easy to walk, rather than I'm just gonna walk and then turn around. You can also do that. I came across a video on the internet, and I'm so sorry to this creator, I don't remember his name, but when I find it, I will tag it in the description. He said we no longer have silent moments in our lives. For instance, when you're in the shower, most of the time that's a vulnerable, silent moment where sometimes you can think about things going on in your life, but we're always distracted. Now we have a Bluetooth speaker to give us music in the shower, or when we're driving, we listen to music. I do it too. I do it a lot, trust me. When we're walking, we're listening to a podcast or music. When we're in bed, we're scrolling through our phone, on Instagram, on TikTok. And so there's no moment where you're usually silent. And after I heard that, it touched me so much, because I was a victim of what he was talking about. I was like, wow, that's really true. I really don't have silent moments in my life. When I'm driving, my music is loud. When I'm walking, I have headphones on. When I'm in the gym, music. Although all those things are great, it helps entertain you. I think you can start putting certain moments in your life to really be quiet. I started doing that. So for now, I don't really multitask as much. And I used to be the guy that took TikTok and Instagram into my shower. That's another story for another day. Even sometimes when I'm eating, I watch YouTube. There isn't a specific moment that I'm just doing one thing, but having silent moments is so great because it helps you think about new things, it helps you get creative, it helps you remember people that you've forgotten, things that you've forgotten to do. Try as much as possible to have some silent moments in your life. Listen, I've tried so many things under the sun. Cold plunge, cold showers, saunas, I lift heavy. All these things work, right? The only thing that has really moved the needle for me is sleeping. Typically 7 to 8 hours a day. Every time I don't get enough sleep, the following day, I'm less patient. But every time that I've tried to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I always have energy to do things the next day. Like I have more patience for people. I'm more kind. I'm more happy. You know what I mean? Just because I feel like my body has gotten enough rest, so I'm not easily, aggravated or easily annoyed with things. Now, some of you watching this video might be parents, or you might have a lot on your schedule. So you're like, I don't have the time to sleep. I completely understand that because I'm speaking from a place of privilege right now. But anytime in your life that your responsibilities are a little less, try to get sleep, at least 7 hours, and tell me if it doesn't make a difference in your day-to-day. It also helps when you have something to track your sleep. Like I have an Oura Ring, some people have Apple Watches, Whoop, whatever it is you use. That data could be really helpful if you're into data and stuff like that, but if not, just sleep. If you're an adult, one of the things that you need to get hold of is your finances. People try not to talk about money because money is a sensitive topic in some families and even some friend groups, right? But sometimes you think you're not spending a lot of money until you look at your account and you're like, oh, where did this money come from? Budgeting helps you understand where your money is going. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're restricting your life so much. It's having that discipline, because when we talk about discipline in our lives, a lot of people talk about sexual discipline, food discipline, and all those things are extremely important. But no one really explains money discipline. And that's also because we're in an era of consumption, right? We always buy things. If you have a budget, it allows you to stick to a certain routine when it comes to your money. You need to try and create these budgets and track it. So if you actually go through the month and you spend more, you realize that what did I do that made me spend more? Oh, okay, there was a birthday here. That's what happened. This birthday will probably not happen the following month, so I can stick to my schedule. And then you can track it over a few months and know what to actually do when it comes to your budget. You can either reduce some of the numbers or increase it. Finances are extremely important, and you need to make sure that you're taking a hold of it and budgeting so you can be disciplined when it comes to money. Listen, the goal isn't to be perfect. It's not to have all of these together and your life is going to dramatically change. Just pick one thing and then start. It's the small steps. In the beginning, I said it doesn't take one dramatic thing to potentially change your life. And even though those things exist, sometimes it's the little things you do along the way that cause that dramatic thing to happen. And so just pick one thing and start. If you want to walk 30 minutes a day, I don't know, try walking 5 minutes. A book that I want to recommend that changed my life a lot was Atomic Habits. This is probably one of the best books on the internet and in the world. It's just so good when it comes to habits. It talks about habit stacking and what you can do to make sure that you're doing the things you said you're gonna do. Where I got my idea of putting my Bible next to my nightstand, or on my nightstand next to my bed, was from this book. If you want to do something, put it in eyesight so you can do it. If you want to read, put the book right next to a place you usually go. If you don't want to be on your phone, throw your phone away from your room so when you wake up, you can't even go on it. When it comes to budgeting, I'll make a separate video. I'll teach you how to be rich. This was a really good book. These are 2 books that I guess transformed me. There's so many books that I have read when it comes to self-help and even fiction. And I'll make a separate video also talking about books that changed my life. Thank you again for joining this video. If you relate to this, tell me in the comments which habit you're gonna start, which habit changed your life, and what else you would want me to make a video on. Until then, thank you for joining the video.